In my 15 years of FPS experience, there's been nothing that's helped me as much and as quickly as these two things have. And it only takes me about 15 minutes every morning. So by the end of the video, I'm going to tell you guys what these two things are and how implementing it might help you too. Welcome to Shotty's Yap Session, episode 12. This episode's about something I've been experimenting with the last few weeks. And if you're new to this series, I'm basically just background noise where I yap about a topic and you guys chill, listen, and do something else. Now, before I can tell you guys what it is, the last few weeks I've been spending time experimenting with a lot of stuff. Like a lot of you guys heard about my new small targets and all this that I was experimenting with from my last episode. And if you didn't, go check that out. But this is also something that I've been experimenting with. And I found out about it because I was playing different games. I was playing a lot of different games. And all my students that I've been coaching, all of them have very similar issues in terms of like core issues with transferring their aim into real games. For example, in Valorant, I'll watch people go for shots and it's so clearly that they're off target, but it's like we're not even looking at our crosshair, we're not looking at the target, we're kind of just praying. We're going for a shot and praying. And I would coach them, I would talk to them about it, I would help them with it. But then I started playing games again. And I did the exact same thing. And it really irritated me because I was like, maybe I should start taking my own advice, you know? So I started implementing some of the things I taught them and it worked really well. I was able to fix it. But in my eyes, it didn't feel right. It felt like the same way playing a shooter game and doing a whole bunch of matches felt compared to just playing an aim trainer to practice your aim. It reminded me of how in PUBG, I used to just hot drop to practice, when now we have aim trainers if I want to practice my aim. But back in the day, the only way I could practice my aim was getting gunfights. So I was trying to figure out, how do I practice looking at my target, looking at my crosshair and syncing those two up? Or how do I fix the fact that I'm not micro adjusting? I'm kind of just going for shots. So I tested a lot of stuff. I was sitting there experimenting. I tried different Kovacs maps. I tried tracking maps. I tried reactive tracking maps. I tried reflex maps. I tried in-game practice. I was doing like one bot maps. I was doing Valorant practice range a lot, but none of it was really working. A lot of it felt indirect. It felt like it would help. It just felt like it wasn't training that one specific thing that I needed training. So I had to figure out what was that thing that needed training. I'm saying, okay, this isn't getting trained. What is it that needed to be trained? I felt like my hand-eye coordination was pretty good, at least my hand portion of it. I was really clicking where I was trying to click, but I felt like I couldn't even follow any targets with my eyes, or I felt like I would lose track of my crosshair, or I'd lose track of the target. And I also remembered back in the day, a lot of CSGO pros, a lot of the ones that had really insane aim, they just had big crosshairs. And actually, if you ever saw Shroud used to use that giant blue plus, and that giant blue plus, a lot of people were like, why does he use this? It's such like a tumor on my screen. A lot of people that had really good aim, they used it only to tell them where their crosshair was. They weren't using it for any other reason. They were using it as a guideline. And I think that was, honestly, I think that's really good. I think it's really effective. But I found when I did that, I couldn't hit precise targets because I would only be able to get them, I would get them in general close to where the crosshair is. I'd be able to get it very, very close, but I was never able to get that precise lineup like all the professionals could, because it felt like even though I was able to see where the crosshair was, it felt like I still couldn't line them up. So that's when I started doing eye training or eye practice. Now, if you've watched my videos in the past, of course, I've preached it plenty. You guys may have heard it, and I do still really believe in it. So I had to figure out, how am I going to train my eyes? And later in the video, I'll tell you guys about what else I used, because I found it wasn't just my eyes, but that's a story for after. First, my eyes. Every single morning now, I've spent 10 minutes, I think it's closer to like 8 minutes every single morning. I watch 2 videos. One is a little eye stretches video. It's a really old video, but I purely used it because I noticed lots of screen time and lots of heavy focus on my computer. I would notice that my eyes would feel almost strained, and it would be mostly strained to even like look up, look down. And a lot of people, like if I say, keep your head in one place and look all the way to the left or all the way to the right, a lot of people will feel some sort of a stretch in their eyes or like a pulling feeling. Or if you do full circles with your eyes, like you're trying to look all the way to the edge of your vision, all the way around, a lot of people will feel a stretch, like the same feeling you get whenever you're working out and your muscles are sore. You get that same feeling in your eyes sometimes, especially if you really play video games a lot and don't give any care to your eyes. So I would do these stretches every single morning, and just these stretches help me feel more alert, feel more awake, and any resources I'd mentioned in this video will be in the description. But on top of the eye stretches, I'd also use this video where it would be me following targets, because I found that that, okay, now I feel a little more alert. I feel like I'm actually looking at my screen or looking at my targets on my screen. But now I needed to actually have targets to look at. So I watched this video where it would be a whole bunch of targets, a whole bunch of different types of targets, following them all around my screen. The first few days, I just watched them. I just try to follow them with my eyes, not move my head at all. Because a lot of us playing on screens get used to just looking at the center of our screen, which, trust me, I understand. I've done it for years. But on top of that, I also started using my mouse to start tracking the targets in the video because it helped me. It helped me sync up my vision and my aim. Now, I did these two every single day, but I found that just my eye training wasn't enough. So I started implementing a second thing. And this second thing I found out from, if you guys know anything about me, if you've ever seen some of my other videos, I have an obscene obsession with MapleStory. Speaking of that, in a few more weeks, the next update comes out, the winter update, so yippee! But MapleStory is a keyboard-based game. And if you've ever played a keyboard-based game for long periods of time, especially what you do with MapleStory, you'll know that carpal tunnel is free low right there. You're getting carpal tunnel guaranteed, unless you take preventative measures for it. Now, I never thought anything about my wrists or my forearm health or any of that. I never thought it was that bad. I thought it was honestly pretty good. And I still think it is. Compared to other people I know, it's not bad at all. But I would notice when I was doing certain tracking maps, or when I was giving my students tracking maps, I would see them track and they would almost jitter, or their wrists would jump sort of whenever they were tracking. And I stopped aim training for a few weeks, almost a month now, because I was coaching. And when I came back, I noticed I was doing the jittering too. So just practicing alone did help me with it, but I was like, okay, is there anything else I could do? Is there anything more I can do to fix this jittering and maybe combat the core problem? So what I did was, Voltaic has this amazing document. They have this wrist health document. Every morning, whenever maybe I'm in queue for a ranked match or I'm about to go warm up for a ranked match, I go through this document here and I just scroll, follow what they're doing, do it for like a minute each, maybe a little less, and just keep scrolling through every single one every morning on both of my hands. And I'm not gonna lie, in general, my wrists hurt less, I get injured less, I feel better, I can aim train longer, I can play longer, and overall, I feel better. Now, funny enough, speaking of the MapleStory story I gave earlier, the reason I mentioned it was because my left wrist is what I use for mostly like when I'm farming, because it's a MMORPG game, so you farm a lot, you go for items, you go for levels, all that. My left hand is the one I use the most for farming. My wrist on my left hand, all of the stretches actually hurt or feel a lot more painful comparatively to my right. So part of this video is to really explain to you guys, take care of your health. My eyes are getting better. My eyesight has gotten better since I started doing these, and my wrists are healing. Just make sure you take a little bit of time. It only takes me, what, 10 minutes a day? It's not that big of a deal, and it's not that time consuming, and it helps you play better. Anyways, if you guys want Insane Aim by 2025, or if you want my coaching, check out over here. Have a good one, everyone. God bless you.